following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA Network and our review show here of WWE Survivor Series 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Karlifornia. This is Jooseyboy. What's going on, brother?
Oh, fucking not a lot. Dealing with a fucking fly infestation in my fucking house right now, which has been the bane of our existence the last week. But other than that, fresh off of watching Survivor Series with you, my friend.
Yeah, what's with the bugs, bro? My last review, I had a flying cockroach situation out here. You got flies infested in the house. What the fuck is going on with this country, man?
It's like our lives are fast becoming a Goosebumps book, bro. It is just the attack of the creepy crawlies right now. Once again, for those of our loyal viewers and fans outside of Australia, which is, of course, our home country, bugs are yet another animal that you can add to the list of terrifying things that exist here in this great country of ours. And in summer, which it is for us over here, they are everywhere.
Yep, I liked the Goosebumps reference, and because this is a wrestling show, I'm going to mix those references by saying Spine on the RL Stein.
Oh, Chris Cross.
Okay, motherfucker. Let's cover this shit. Going into this, we were very worried about having our time wasted, bro.
Yep.
Tell me why were you personally, you little shit, why were you concerned going into Survivor Series 2021? Tell me.
Well, I'll tell you why. And you know, it's because of the brand split. You know, that's probably going to be a term that you hear come up ad nauseum in any review of Survivor Series that you watch, or any prediction podcast, or anything like that. Anything covering Survivor Series, whether it's from within the WWE or without, is so focused around this brand warfare thing. Here's the issue. The brand split, they brought it back in 2016 after, about 5 or 6 years of it not being around, but they brought it back in 2016. And then they doubled down on it when obviously SmackDown went to Fox, Raw is on USA. Now they're on these two distinctly different channels, two different networks. So it really is like they're competing brands because, obviously one of them is always going to do better than the other. They're being managed by completely different networks. But even so, that was 2019, right before COVID hit, when all that was going down. Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman were eventually ousted in their respective jobs as executive director for Raw and SmackDown. Bruce Pritchard now oversees the executive director role, of course, for both shows. And since that time, there's been a steady decline of brand, like the brand split being taken seriously, unless it's time for Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble or Money in the Bank or something like that, where there's going to be some interaction. But the thing is, it's not exciting to have this interaction between the brands when they don't put any effort into keeping them separate and distinct the rest of the year around. And I'm sure, look, I'm not the first guy to first wrestling commentator to discuss this problem with the brand split, but that is the central issue with this Survivor Series that, will underpin everything else that's going on with this pay-per-view. And that is why we're worried, my friend. There's just no distinction between the two brands. The brand split does not matter. Why should we, it's obvious that just because they wear blue t-shirts on one side and red t-shirts on the other side, it makes no difference. It doesn't matter. They're all still getting paid the same way. I think Randy Orton, whether he's on Raw and SmackDown, is going to still be under the same contract. It all just smacks of meaninglessness. And the only thing that makes it anywhere near worth being watching is the actual wrestlers themselves.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that they just had a draft a month ago. So 4 out of the 5 guys, I believe, on one of the teams was on the other brand a month ago.
Yeah,
So,
caveat, bro. Caveat. A draft, which, by the way, did not take effect until November 3rd, like right after Crown Jewel. So even though they did the draft, the drafted superstars were still wrestling on the same brands for like another 2 or 3 weeks.
It's been 19 days. 19 days.
That's right. Since they've actually brought the draft into effect.
Fucking hell. How does anyone have pride in their brand and who they wrestle for when they were just on the other show like fucking 19 days prior?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And that's my main problem, bro. Last Survivor Series, we reviewed that one. That was our first pay-per-view review with the Four Horsemen podcast, which hopefully will make a return soon. I hated last Survivor Series. I thought it was so fucking boring.
Yeah.
It was just cold matches that I didn't give a shit about. So that's why I was concerned about this show. But going in, knowing how I felt about last year, it might have actually helped the way that I looked at this show because I didn't expect anything amazing. I just took it for what it was and I took the matches for what they were. And that's what we're going to get into right here, right now, bro. Survivor Series 2021. Sorry, everyone, for the rants beforehand, but we got to talk about this.
It's
the prelude. So I wrote firstly before we even started, will they keep score today? They didn't keep score.
No.
They don't. It doesn't really matter anymore. I think it was 2 years ago they had NXT, SmackDown, and Raw all battling, if I'm correct. And they seem to make a really big deal out of that. And somehow NXT walked away with the points. I just they don't even keep score. It doesn't even really matter. So anyway, the opening package, I'm not really into the quirky humor in the voiceover guy cracking jokes and stuff.
Yeah, that didn't work.
But I get it. This is for kids.
Yeah,
I get it.
Like I actually don't mind the idea of them having fun with it, and I get it, right? They want to tie in their promotion to The Rock's new movie. It's the 25th anniversary of The Rock. The Rock has close ties with WWE. The Rock purchased XFL off Vince McMahon. So yeah, of course they want to do business with The Rock. This was the wrong way to do it. Intercutting clips of The Rock's new movie and having the movie dialogue play and then splicing in clips of wrestling, which have no connective tissue at all to anything going on in the movie, does not work. It's a wrestling show. We want wrestling at it. You know, this did not work at all. If anything, sorry, what were you going to say, bro?
Oh no, it's almost like it's more important that Batista or The Rock have a movie coming out than the actual pay-per-view.
Yeah, you know, it's if they're going to do one of these big packages, which they normally like to do, obviously, I would have really preferred a little rundown that reminds me of who's in every match and what the stakes are, you know. Put it up there, have the commentators say, oh, these guys haven't been getting along. Now they're going to be on the same team because it's Survivor Series. Like, let us know what the fuck's going on. Don't give us this random fucking weird hype package interspersed with clips of some movie that I've never heard of before.
I'll give them a pass on it, bro, because I know that they aired packages before every match, but we skipped them because, look, everyone, 3.5 hours. I'm sorry, we're not sitting through the whole 3.5 hours. We managed to get this done in like just over 2 hours because we cut out most of the bullshit that happened, you know, and most of the entrances as well, actually. So like that's just the way we're gonna have to go about it when we review some of these long pay-per-views. It's too much.
It's the only way to save
coming
time.
off a 4-hour fucking AEW pay-per-view a couple of weeks ago that fucking killed me. And you know, then yesterday we watched Impact's pay-per-view as well. So time is money, motherfucker. Okay. What a way to start the show though. Okay. When we finally got past all the shit, Charlotte and Becky. Okay, I've seen them several times in the past have matches. They always seem to work quite well together. But the interesting factor going into this one is that we know from the dirt sheets that these two are not getting along, and there's been some problems between the two of them. A bit of back and forth, a bit of shit going on actually on television. So I'll just quickly run through my notes before I throw it to you, bro. I loved it straight away. It was a fight. No fucking lock up, straight into a fight. It felt good. It felt real. And look, I've been saying for the last few months that Britt Baker's #1 woman in the business, but when I look at a match with Ty Conti at the last pay-per-view, and then I see Charlotte and Becky here, I'm like, okay, I like Britt's character. I like what she does with the character, but she ain't having matches like this. Not with Ty Conti, that's for sure. It was okay, but in comparison, Charlotte and Becky, unfortunately, you know, they're just a step above when it comes to, you know, how ferocious this match came across, how it looked like a fight, and it didn't look kind of choreographed.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of, but you know, the girls over at AEW, they will improve in time, but I just think there is a bit of a difference in quality with the in-ring stuff at the moment on WWE side with the women. The only other issue I had was, like, I've seen them wrestle so many times, but again, it's okay because I know that there's like actual heat behind it. So I was interested to see how they were going to work with each other. And again, you couldn't see them cooperating with each other whatsoever. Just great back and forth throughout the whole match. And the great thing is, bro, it wasn't a foregone conclusion. We knew Britt Baker was beating Ty Conti, and I'm sorry that I have to keep comparing, but that's what I'm going to be doing. But I couldn't pick who was going to win this. Becky ends up winning after cheating the way that Charlotte was trying to cheat. I like the effect afterward with Charlotte laughing. But I still think Charlotte is better than Becky. So that's my thoughts, bro. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought this was an outstanding match, a great way to open the pay-per-view. Yeah, they've wrestled a bunch before, but it's kind of like they've wrestled a bunch before in the good way. Like, they have good chemistry. They don't do the same thing every time they have a match. Like, each time they wrestle, it's like a new chapter in the rivalry. And this one here, off the back of that heat, that real-life heat that seems to be, because it's not just heat, it's a dissolution of friendship, right? It was well known in the industry that these ladies were quite good friends, peers, contemporaries. The rumors, if they are to be believed, and I caution everyone to take them with a massive grain of salt, but there's a lot of rumors going around that seem to stem from Charlotte's supposed feeling in reality, in real life, that she is a step above all the other women and that she should be the face of the company as far as women's wrestling goes. And so rumors are that Becky has taken exception to that, and there is some heat between them for that and some other things. That's the context. I felt like it lit an extra spark under this match. Everything that they did was executed to perfection. DJ recommendation. Go out of your way to check it out. A- on this opening contest. Tremendous match. The women are crushing it on pay-per-view this week.
Yeah, bro. And, you know, I have to say, you know, yeah, good point too with Mickey and Mercedes yesterday doing a fantastic job. And this right here was probably one of the best matches on the show. But yeah, I had another thought, you know, and I don't want to go on too long about it, but, you know, I was very harsh about Full Gear. I fucking ripped that pay-per-view to shreds, especially the finishes of all the matches. The finishes of all the matches on this show here today, well, I liked all of them. And the thing is, I'm not a WWE stan. You know what I mean? I'm not a defender of WWE. I don't watch Raw. I don't watch SmackDown. I couldn't fucking handle that. But I wanted to quickly say that the reason why I'm so harsh on AEW is because I expect better. I expect better from them because they got all those minds there. They don't have to worry about Vince McMahon. They don't have to worry about all the red tape and the politics and the bullshit that pollutes them having any sort of great success creatively, because that is the major issue with the company, is that there's just too much red tape. And I know it for a fact because I interviewed people that left there. Maria Kanellis is a great example. Check out the interview with her on the Insider's Edge on our YouTube. So it's because I expect better from AEW, and the problem is that Tony writes the show, and I don't think he should. But I just still expect better of him. I'm not going to rip Survivor Series apart. You know why? Because I don't expect anything amazing out of this. I don't expect them to fucking blow my mind with the creativity and the stories, because 15 years ago, the company broke my heart. And I've loved wrestling, and wrestling hasn't really loved me back since then. And so I go into this reviewing this show based off its own merit, in that I'm just going to watch these matches for what they are. And I'm not going to expect anything amazing out of this show. So that's why I rip into AEW. I just wanted to clear that up and make sure that I got that in there before anyone said, oh, you're going to give a positive review of Survivor Series. It was absolute trash. And I already saw someone say that on social media. But I'm sorry, Full Gear was absolute fucking trash. And this show was actually quite good. So I just wanted to lay that out there as I continue on. Next thing, bro, the men's 5-on-5, Team Raw, Team SmackDown. It's Owens, Seth, Finn, Bobby, and Austin Theory against McIntyre, King Woods, Sheamus, Jeff Hardy, and Baron Corbin. Take it away, bro. What did you think of the men's Survivor Series match?
There's really not tons to say because I really enjoyed this match as well. I thought this was outstanding as well. I like the fact that there were actually stories being told about the different dynamics between some of the people in the matches, because they've all recently been working with each other on TV. There's issues going on between them. They included those in the Survivor Series match. They used it as this massive stage to simultaneously get all of these different storylines interacting. They did that effectively. The wrestling itself, fucking outstanding. The combinations of teams, fucking outstanding. Thought it was a little weird that Austin Theory was included into the team, given the fact that he's so recently debuted on the main roster. But by the end of the match, I didn't mind him being in there because I liked the idea of there being this kind of arrogant, smarmy rookie that had somehow managed to get himself a spot on the team because he'd managed to take advantage of the opportunities that WWE throws around on the, and he's managed to weasel his way into this big, important match. And now he's not on the level of everyone else in his team. Kevin Owens walked out before the match began, got himself counted out to deliberately put his own team at a disadvantage. Nice touch for him. It means that even though he didn't really do anything in the match, you're going to remember what Kevin Owens did when you walk away from the show. Nice touch there. I'd give this match a B+ overall. I don't want to go into the specifics of the wrestling. Check it out. It was a great match. And, again, at this point in the show, I was really enjoying it to start off with.
Yeah, no, there was some interesting dynamics throughout this match. The Sheamus and Hardy have a past. McIntyre and Sheamus have a past. So, Owens and Seth had a part. It's all good stuff here. I wasn't bored. And what's great, bro? Again, with the AEW thing. If this was an AEW match, my God, I would have hated it because you would have known it would have been full of shit. Had to have been a dive to the outside onto a group of people standing there waiting for it.
Yeah.
So for me, it was refreshing seeing a multi-team or multi-person tag team match that wasn't full of absolute fucking shit. So that's just another difference I wanted to point out. I liked Owens walking out. I guess they're really pushing him into this heel turn now. Don't know if he's going to still be in the company by next year, but man, that AEW can't possibly hire any more people, surely.
Yeah.
But if they do bring him in, it's gonna be really fucked, bro. If they bring him in, it's gonna be fucked.
There's no more room in that. It's like Martin's pool in that episode of The Simpsons. There's just no more room in there. There's no more room in that pool for another person to jump in and get involved. It's it's overflowing as it is.
Yeah. So Corbin gets eliminated first by Balor. Woods getting wiped out by Lashley and fucking made to pass out. I liked that because, sometimes I feel like the New Day guys just always seem to get protected a little too much. So it's nice seeing a heel just fucking make a babyface pass out there. But, bro, my biggest gripe with the show, the commentators were fucking killing me, man. Okay. And who's the MMA guy that's the new guy there?
That's Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith and Pat McAfee should not be together whatsoever. They're too similar. They were doing my head in. And I can't believe I'm sitting there thinking to myself that Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton are a relief. I've hated that team for years. I've hated Cole and Graves for such a long time, but it takes having Pat McAfee and Jimmy Smith together for me to realize just how good that they actually are, because these two were horrible, yelling and carrying on the whole fucking time. Every time that they were together, yelling and carrying on, and McAfee's voice kept on going high pitched at the end of a sentence, and it's like, I know he's been. Some people were giving him some compliments, right? And this is the first time I had the chance to hear him commentate. I thought he was fucking dreadful, and the only time he actually wasn't too bad was in the main event when he was with Cole and Graves. Like, he was fine because he laid out and let them two fucking do the calling, and he'll come in with his little comments here and there. That's all he should be doing.
That's
not stepping all over each other.
Like, that's the thing. That's the issue. I think by sticking Jimmy Smith, and I know we're trying to keep concise, so I'll move on quickly, but they're sticking Jimmy Smith and Pat McAfee in there together. They're both new announcers that are still really learning the game, even though they clearly both have some talent. And you're right, they both have a very similar style of being a bit over the top and stuff like that. And having two of those voices at once is overload. It's a sensory overload while you're trying to get invested into the story of the match. Compare that with AEW. We're going to say something positive about AEW here. Their announced team, rock solid. They've got the veteran experience of Jim Ross. They've got the name recognition of Tony Schiavone, who's also rediscovered wrestling after 20 years, and he's rejuvenated. And they've got the expert knowledge of Excalibur, and he also has the stamina to kind of fill in when Tony and JR get a bit tired. And the result is that the commentary is one of the best things about that product, because they provide bits of information that strengthen your understanding and appreciation of what you're seeing on the screen. They don't bombard your ears constantly with just like, yeah, let's try and get over with this line that we want to try to be funny that we've been fed from the truck. Yeah, let's feed in another one of these fucking sponsors, one of the million fucking people that we have advertising on our show. Like, it's a constant thing. And I think with Jimmy Smith and Pat McAfee both at the same time, you have two of those announcers instead of just one, which even just having one of them can sometimes be a bit much depending on the situation. Two of them, no way. Not a good idea.
Yep. Good protection for Drew and Lashley getting eliminated from a double count out. Really love Drew headbutting Seth out cold. I really thought Seth should have got pinned from that, but obviously he was going to be winning the match. Sheamus pinning Balor. I'd like seeing that because, usually you can see who's like getting the push and who's not really getting the push. So interesting to see that. Theory pins Sheamus. And then it got to Jeff against those two. And like, I was really behind Jeff here because I thought it would have been really cool for him to get himself back up there after the last couple of years of him not really been utilized at the level that he probably should be with his name recognition. Because I really think a Jeff Hardy, Roman Reigns feud would be something that I would be interested in seeing, considering they've never worked together before. But anyway, Jeff did get over on Theory, but they got us, bro. Like, we thought Jeff was going to hit that swanton on Seth and get the win, but Seth ended up getting the pin. So I wrote him winning was it's bullshit, but like, they got me. Okay.
Yeah, that was a successfully got us.
Yeah. So, it's not often that we get, they get us, you know what I mean? So when they do, good job. Okay. The first of the Vince McMahon backstage skits here. He arrives and he has a group of people cheering for him, and he's got the egg from the film, which is apparently worth $100 million.
It's clearly not.
No. And, Reigns going into Vince's office, and Vince is going on about this egg. And I just thought this was so strange. I know that there was a tie-in with the movie, but I just thought this was all strange. And it came across like, I just felt like that might be going down a road with Vince going senile. Because, the egg gets stolen later on. No, how old people can claim that, the doctor stole my wallet when the man probably just like misplaced his wallet. He blamed someone for stealing it. I don't know. That's just, they're not going for that, obviously, but that's just how it feels when he performed in these skits. I kind of thought like he comes across like he's a little bit getting a little bit long in the tooth.
Like I've seen a few Vince segments in the past few years, and see, I felt more like, there's kind of this tongue-in-cheek acknowledgement from Vince that, yeah, it's just a tie-in for the movie, and it's blatantly like, here I am doing this little segment to promote this movie. He's got this fucking egg. Clearly, it's a prop. It's not worth $100 million. I feel like the tone that I feel when I watch these segments with Vince is like, he's Vince McMahon. He's old. He's nearly 80 years old. And WWE is his personal fiefdom and empire and kingdom. And he can just do whatever he wants. And that's what he's doing. He's just basically at Survivor Series playing. He doesn't have to worry about the running of the show because Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce do that shit for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's almost like he's just there. And yeah, he's the figurehead, the boss, the founder of this company. But really, it's just his personal playground at this point in his career. That is the vibe that I personally took away from it. Maybe it's just wishful thinking on my part, but I didn't mind it. It went on for about probably fucking 30 seconds longer than it needed to. But other than that, I kind of got a snicker out of me. The fact that the biggest star in the industry, Roman Reigns, has to actually sit there and have this conversation about this about this egg. Like,
it was almost kind of like Roman's kind of like, well, what am I doing here talking to you about this? Like, why are you showing me this? That's why I thought it came across like he was senile, because it's like Reigns has been pulled in there to talk about this fucking golden egg, and it's like, yeah, it was just a bit
Vince
random.
was acting like it was hell cool as well. Like he had like this big beaming smile. I thought it was good, man. I liked it.
He's showing off his golden egg to Roman Reigns.
He's going like, so you guys should go out and you wait and check this out actually, because you can make up your own mind. We'd be very interested to hear in the comments, especially about the Vince segment, this one here and the one later on. What did you guys think of how Vince came across? Because I actually thought it was quite fun. It was quite funny.
Yeah. Okay. There's another thing that's a bit weird on this show. They have a 25-man battle royal for the Rock's 25th anniversary, and the Rock's not even showing up on the show.
No.
Like, I get it, but like, it just seems weird that they. I mean, and I know they're promoting the movie too, but it seems weird that they would make this battle royal be like a celebration battle royal for the Rock's 25th anniversary when he hasn't really done anything in like nearly 10 years. So I'll let you take this one away, bro. It's a bunch of Raw and SmackDown guys in this battle royal. I don't know what they're gonna get, but
yeah. Look, so this was something that you feel like probably could have been bumped down to the pre-show instead of the United States Intercontinental title match, which I was excited about seeing, and we didn't get. Point taken away from this show just for that. It's impossible for it to get a 10 at this point already. This battle royal, though, even though seemingly you would have wanted to shove it onto the pre-show, when it first started, I wasn't really into it. I thought it was funny that AJ decided, like, I'm just not even going to bother with this. I'm just going to hang out on the outside and cheerlead almost. Great little touch. At first, I was like, this is just going to be bullshit. You might as well have just not even put it on here. You had people from SmackDown eliminating SmackDown people. You had people from Raw eliminating Raw people. Then you had a couple of the tag teams that were working together, and then, gradually they all got knocked out. But as it went along, though, and they started focusing on Omos, focusing on Commander Aziz, focusing on some of these other people in the ring, like focusing on the Dirty Dogs, focusing on Mansoor, and they started spotlighting the different people in the match. I actually thought by the end of it, this was a really enjoyable battle royal, because it ended up just being down to the big hoss, Omos, chucking out 11 or 12 people, right when it seems like Omos might actually get knocked out of the ring. Boom, AJ comes in, phenomenal forearm. And, that was pretty much all she wrote from there. I don't even remember the official result. Almost, I'm pretty sure, officially won. I don't remember how AJ got eliminated, but almost did end up winning the Battle Royal. And I'd give this a solid C+. It actually really kind of turned me around on it by the end of it.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, almost was trying to save AJ from being eliminated,
That's
and
right.
he got kicked from behind and ended up letting go of him. But
Yeah.
yeah. So this is what's weird, right? So like, I know what WWE is like now. I know it's for kids. I know it's PG. You got R-Truth on the outside of the ring, grabs a slice of pizza, offers it to Omos, and then, you know, the fat cunt grabs the fucking slice, eats it, and R-Truth gets eliminated. So at that point, I wrote, this is stupid. Like, I don't understand the premise for the Battle Royal. You've got guys on the same brand fighting each other. I know it's every man for himself, but at the same time, you know, isn't this what the show's supposed to be about? Omos whoops ass, he wins, but this is about, is this Battle Royal about celebrating The Rock's 25th anniversary, or is it about brand supremacy, or is it about pizza? Because the final thing that we saw was about the pizza getting thrown into the crowd from Pizza Hut, and I think it's the Street Profits. You know, they stole the pizza away from Omos, who was mad that the pizza was taken away from him. And I just wrote, this is so weird. Like, there's too many different things that this is about going on at the same time. I get that they have to promote fucking their sponsors or whatever, but
yeah, see, I forgot about all that shit.
shit.
I was forgetting about all that shit that surrounded it because it just has no meaning to it. All right.
It's just weird. Anyway, moving forward, this was kind of boring for me, but it's the Usos against RKBro, the two tag team champions battling each other here. I think why I'm bored by it is because I think I'm just a little bit over the Usos, to be honest with you. They've been together for so long, and they're going to be together for a much more time as the years go by, I'm sure. I just can't imagine, like, geez, are they ever going to do anything different with them? I know it's a little different now that they're finally, like, they're with their heels, they're with Reigns. That's cool, with the bloodline, but gosh, like, what else can you really do with them? How many tag team titles do they need to win? There's nothing else really for them to accomplish. So, you know, that's just how I was feeling when I was looking at this match. So the commentators, again, were fucking horrible. I know Riddle, he kind of messed up a variation of the GTS.
Yeah, that was...
And Pat McAfee called it a modified go to night-night. And I was like, man, someone get him out of there. Fucking shut up, man.
That just drew attention to it. That drew attention to it more than anything.
Yeah, go to night-night. Fuck, man. There was a moment in the match that I was quite impressed with, was Riddle was getting pinned and it looked like it might have been over, but he bridged out of the pin. Well, that was interesting. He's probably done it before and I've never noticed, but excuse me, just got an itchy ear. Look, they left everything out there. They really did. Like, these two teams really worked their asses off to try and make this interesting, because the premise of the whole thing's fucking essentially a cold match.
Yeah.
RK-Bro win. I liked the finish. It was very cool with the RKO out of nowhere. What did you think, bro?
Yeah, I don't have a ton more to add. Nothing offensive in this match. I'm a fan of both teams. You know, I kind of agree with you on the Usos thing. I tend to prefer lately when one of them is injured or otherwise unable to be on the show. I kind of like that they always have the other one working singles. You can tell when they work singles that they're still over as singles wrestlers. So there is a future for them if you break them up. Beyond that, though, I tend to echo everything that you said about this match itself. It's not getting any more than a C- from me, because to me, this was nothing I haven't seen these two teams do on TV before. Didn't really feel like a pay-per-view quality match to me. Not that it was bad, with the exception of the finish, which I think was pretty impressive.
Yep. Moving forward, it's the time for the ladies 5 versus 5. It's Bianca Belair. It's Be Still My Beating Heart Carmella. It's Queen Zelina. It's Be Still My Beating Heart Liv Morgan. It's Be Still My Beating Heart Rhea Ripley against Natalya, Shayna Baszler. Be Still My Beating Heart Toni Storm. Be Still My Beating Heart Shotzi. and Sasha Banks. So they, out of all those women, now you know which ones that I'm more attracted to. Thank you. What did you think of the ladies 5-on-5, bro?
I kind of think that the ladies 5-on-5 might have outshined the men's. I just thought that they were absolute, and that's not a negative comment towards the men's one. It's just that I felt like the women were just on fire. Like, I loved the storyline with Sasha Banks thinking that she's the best, trying to control the team. The rest of the SmackDown team slowly turning on her as the match goes along. I love the physicality of the match. I loved just the unification. Like, the women in this match, it was actually like, okay, the SmackDown ladies are actually going to band together against the Raw ladies. They all had really nice color coordinated outfits on. They were making an effort to actually kind of compete for bragging rights about who's got the better women's division, on which brand. I thought that this was fantastic, this match. I thought it was paced really well. I thought the finish and the way that they got to the finish was perfect. I would give this match a solid A- as well, man. Like, this was really good, possibly even superior, like I said, to the men's 5-on-5 earlier.
Yeah, very good, bro. Carmella eliminated early by Toni Storm. That was a fun little bit of business, I suppose, because she was more concerned about her stupid fucking mask than when you walk into the ring wearing the mask.
Yeah,
if you're worried, you're gonna be worried about your looks.
Because she has to have her entrance and have everyone see her face.
Of course. Well, she's been spoiled a little bit anyway because she's dating Corey Graves. I just kept thinking to myself, man, Bianca Belair is fucking incredible. What an athlete, man. I've never seen anyone move around the ring like her or have the powers she does. Like, I don't know how she does it. She's got so much balance and great timing, and
she's the core strength, bro.
Yeah, she's unbelievable, bro. Toni
very
eliminates
likable
Queen.
As well.
She is. Toni eliminates Queen Zelina with a nice move. Storm then gets eliminated by Liv, which I thought was excellent. Liv gets eliminated by Banks. Ripley, surprising to me, getting eliminated by Shayna. Hopefully they do something with those two going forward, because, I would like to see like a fucking 5-match series between Ripley and Shayna Baszler, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe best of 5 series or something. That would be pretty cool. They seem to be matched up quite evenly there. I did enjoy the spot where Sasha was counted out, but as soon as that happened, I knew that Bianca was going to eliminate the last 3 ladies and have this kind of superhero effort to end this matchup. She eliminates Natalya, then she eliminates Shayna, and then, of course, she finished it off there. Very good match. Thought it went a little long, but that's okay. They had to get everyone to get their shit in or whatever, and then they started telling some stories throughout the match. It wasn't just a fucking multi-person match where they fucking do dives to the outside. It actually had stories being told within the match, like the men's match. I don't think WWE do a very good job creatively. I think that they could do a hell of a better job and make the show a little bit less contrived and a little bit more edgy, but at least they still do pay respect to stories that have already been told.
And rules, man.
Yeah, and rules, of course. Yep. Paul Heyman has an interview after this, bro. This was fantastic. Hey, P, how you doing? How you fucking doing, Paul?
Hey, P, how you doing, Paul?
hey, fucking Paulie. Hey, Paulie.
Hey, Paulie, give me a fucking cup of coffee and a turkey sandwich, you fat fuck.
You gonna eat that fucking calzone, huh?
You gonna eat that fucking cannoli, you fat fuck?
I need that fucking cannoli.
Huh?
Okay. Huh? Right. I just thought it was great him making fun of people from Brooklyn. Oh!
Yeah, so that's basically what we're doing. We've jumped ahead of ourselves. So Paul Heyman gets surprised backstage by the interviewer, launches into a tirade about people from Brooklyn, makes fun of Italian Americans. He's doing the Brooklyn, Italian American accent. It's all fun and games till he finds out that Brock Lesnar's suspension is in fact not indefinite. Great deer in the headlights reaction for Heyman. You know, and the saga continues. Where is Paul Heyman going to fall? When the chips fall, as they may, where is Paul Heyman going to end up on the other side of this Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns rivalry that's currently the centerpiece of the company?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. Still feel in my fucking stone cold heart that, you know, I wish that they've put Reigns and Lesnar together as a team for a little while.
It'd be fresh, be something fresh.
Yeah, it would be like, who the fuck could stop them? You know what I mean?
Nobody. That's the thing, though. How do you beat them? How would you get out of it, though? Anyway, that's a discussion for some fantasy booking podcast down the line. What's next, my friend?
Oh yeah, and also I'd like to see Goldberg and Lesnar team up against the Bloodline in a handicap. That would be fresh. That would
be done.
Yeah. Imagine Goldberg and Lesnar teaming up. Anyway, okay. You know, let's not get excited about things that will never happen. The main event is next, bro. It is Roman Reigns. It's Big E, the Universal Champion and the WWE Champion. I'll let you take this away, bro. What did you think of the main event of Survivor Series 2020? Fucking one.
Like, motherfucker. Like, you know, again, like another outstanding match. There's not really anything for me to critique or nitpick. The physicality of it was off the charts. Big E obviously has that tremendous, explosive, you know, explosive movement that he's known for. Just the vertical leap and the spring in his legs and his ability to pop his hips, throwing suplexes and stuff. All of that athleticism was on display. Roman Reigns, of course, conversely, you know, like just top tier storytelling within a wrestling match. You know, Reigns is definitely more of a cerebral psychological worker as opposed to a physical like bump taker. And obviously Big E, you know, just overflowing with charisma as well as a performer. You know, seems like a great fucking guy in real life. People like him. They gravitate towards him. Obviously, he's a tremendous physical specimen as well. You put all those things together, you mix them up, and the resulting soup is one hell of a main event for Survivor Series 2021. Highlights, Roman Reigns delivering a rock bottom to Big E. The first big ending that Big E managed to nail that actually successfully got me to, because Roman Reigns really is the superior champion going into this match, even though on the face of it, they're supposed to be equal because they're the leaders of their respective brands and the best on each of their respective brands. But really, Roman Reigns is you know, he's the cornerstone, the top guy of the company. And you know what? The first time that he hit that big ending, it successfully, I was like, man, they're going to have Big E win this match. Like I really thought on that occasion and a couple of others as well of these false finishes towards the end, I really thought, dude, they're gonna go in a different direction. They're actually gonna give Big E a bit more credibility. He's about to get a win over Roman Reigns. You know, obviously they did not do that eventually, but the fact that they were able to convince me when I was so sure of the result going in, you know, I think that deserves credit. Overall, I would give this match an A-. It was another tremendous main event performance from Roman Reigns and another great match from Big E. I'd like to see these two wrestle again, perhaps once more in some kind of a stipulation match down the line.
Yeah, Reigns is on fire, man. Like he had a fucking hell of a match with Lesnar at Crown Jewel. I didn't see the Cena match, but I heard that it was pretty good at SummerSlam.
That was an amazing match, bro. That was a classic match.
Him working with Edge and Daniel Bryan and he, you know, getting the wins over them as well. It's like, who is going to be the guy that finally beats him? You know, it's really at this point, they built it up so well, I think, despite the fact I don't really like WWE Creative. They still have built him up so well that it's like you can't even think of who's going to beat him at this point.
Except for possibly Brock Lesnar, who's beaten him before.
Yeah, and, you know, that will probably be headlining the next WrestleMania unless we get Rock versus Reigns. So, yeah, I don't really have much to add to this. It was a good match. It was fantastic. And I I was very happy that Roman won because I think if Big E won, then it would have undone all of these huge victories that Roman Reigns has had. And this title reign is just fucking, I don't know how many days it is now, but it's gone on a while.
It's good to have a nice proper title reign,
Yeah, so that's the end of the show. And this is one thing I wanted to read out to you, bro, and just quickly talk about before we sail off into the sunset. This was something that was reported on WrestlingHeadlines.com. You may have noticed how things seemed rushed towards the end of last night's Survivor Series pay-per-view. PWA Insider reports that there was some worry and what was described as a minor freakout backstage during the main event between Big E and Roman Reigns, as officials were concerned about running out of time for the show. The pay-per-view was scheduled to go off the air no later than 11:35 Eastern Standard Time and still had the main event match to go. WWE ended up with several minutes left, but in that moment, when there was concern backstage, there were people wondering why so much time was given to entrances for the men's 5-on-5 traditional elimination match. That's probably why like half the ladies in that had their entrances be a bit shorter when they were all standing on the ramp. But I just think it's weird, bro. It's 3.5 hours and there's only 6 matches and there was a time issue.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Remember all the WrestleManias back in the day were always 3 hours and there were at least 10 fucking matches on the show. And no one was ever concerned about, the matches didn't get enough time. I just don't understand it, bro. I don't know what's going on. Is it because they plod along too much when the show's going? They need to cut to things quicker? Do matches not need to be given so much fucking time? What is going on where you have 6 matches on 3.5 hours of a pay-per-view? And, even the Intercontinental title match wasn't on the pay-per-view, got bumped to the pre-show. You don't have enough time to slot that in there for 7 matches in 3.5 hours? What the fuck is going on?
Clearly, that's a problem because if they, already as it was, right, the pay-per-view didn't need to go for 3.5 hours. It only needed to go for 3. They just spend so much time piss-farting around on WWE TV. The problem is AEW, when they piss-fart around, at least it's enough to get some sort of a rise out of me as a fan, even if it pisses me off. WWE, it's just so milquetoast and so bland and boring half the time. You just think, just slice all that out. Let the wrestlers go out there and do what they do best and let that speak for the product. That's probably a nice way for me to wrap up my thoughts, actually.
Yeah, bro. I just think fucking hell, man. Anyway, okay, bro. It's time for the final rating. Your rating out of 10 for Survivor Series 2021.
All right, Survivor Series 2021 is going to get an 8 out of 10. And yes, before everyone rips my head off, yes, it's getting a higher rating than Full Gear. It was the better show, in my opinion, as a fan. You don't like the rating? Start your own show and offer your own rating, which will probably still be bullshit. But nonetheless, yeah, that's it. It's getting an 8. I thought it was a pretty good show. Surprised that I'm giving it an 8. I expected it to be much more middle of the road going into it.
Yeah, I think I gave Full Gear like 2 out of 10. And I'm sure if there's an AEW fan that just heard me say that, go, fuck off, man. How could you give it a... Because all of the finishes were wrong. Yeah, all the finishes were terrible or botched. On this pay-per-view, every finish was good. The right person won each match. You didn't know necessarily who was going to win each match. Everything was all up in the air. Whereas with your little Full Gear pay-per-view, everything except for, let's say, MJF and Darby, you knew who was winning every fucking match pretty much. Yeah. And that's not a case of the right person won. It's just they're so fucking obvious with their booking and the way that they do things.
Don't even get me started, man.
Yeah. No, I won't. I needed to say it. So the finishes were better than Full Gear. The matches made sense. It wasn't let's fucking do everything you can possibly do and burn the
dance number.
Yeah, and burn everyone fucking out like 3 matches in. Let's fucking just have a good wrestling show, despite the fact the premise of the show sucks and we don't really care for the brand warfare stuff going on between SmackDown and Raw. But with all that being said, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't amazing. There's no rewatchability in it for me personally. But all the matches were good. My intelligence wasn't insulted, even if Vince has a fucking $100 million golden egg. Okay, I've come to expect what I get from WWE, and so I don't get fucking upset and mad anymore like I did last year when I thought I had my time wasted. So 7 out of 10. You gave it an 8. Thank you, Juicy Boy. Tell everyone where they can find you.
All right, on the gram, Juicy_boy. On Twitch, subscribe, help me get to affiliate, Juicy Boy. On Twitter, @JuicyBoy. Send your hate tweets my way. I love responding to them. It makes my day. Fucking YouTube, Juicy Boy. Subscribe to me now. I got some good shit on there. Facebook, Juicy Boy. And just in case you don't know, the spelling for that word is JOOSEYBOY. That's Juicy Boy. And I'll see you on social media, folks.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Karlifornia, WZWA, KARLIFORNIA, WZWA. You're here on the WZWA Network on YouTube. Please hit subscribe. Hit the bell so you can find out what else we're dropping this week. There's going to be a lot of stuff going up this week, so you will enjoy all of our content. We do a lot of different things. We do watch-alongs and reaction videos. We have a podcast, Inside Its Edge. We do video game-related stuff. We do review shows.
Yeah,
we're a wrestling fan lifestyle channel. We've got a whole bunch of different flavors for you to taste and try. So please check out all of our other shit. You will laugh. You will be in tears of laughter like we are. And of course, WZWA Network on any other platform. Type it in, you'll find it. There's no one else with that name, that's for sure. So Juicy Boy, thank you again.
It was my pleasure as always, Karlifornia.
No worries, motherfucker. And to all of you motherfuckers out there, thank you for joining us here for the Survivor Series 2021 review. I'm Karlifornia. This is Juicy Boy, and we will see you down the road, motherfucker.
Yeah, cheers, cunt.